Okay.
Yes, please.
Yes, a very good afternoon. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. A very good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. I better put my name. I think it's showing as Go Global. I'm Dr. Aziza Jalaluddin, founder of Shine Go Global. We are an impact investment community in the travel and tourism industry from Singapore. And we're very delighted and happy to welcome every one of you in today's segment, which is organized by the Institute of Tourism. Thank you to Mr. Reza for putting this together, bringing amazing women from Malaysia into the space. And I'm glad to introduce you to this segment that is focused on Malaysian women in the tourism industry. As you can see, if the words are a little bit small, I've written there, it's celebrating womanhood and also accelerating action. As many of you know, Malaysian tourism has been and is getting really high, elevated in a very beautiful way because over the years,
Ini saya
after
dapat
COVID,
daripada sekejap
a lot of effort has been done to uplift the industry. At the same time, there is also a huge movement towards the 2026, truly Malaysia movement going on. What we are noticing, however, and this is the conversation we were having, Mr. Reza was also talking to me about, the role of women in tourism is something that we really want to acknowledge and how it can be further uplifted. That is also a conversation we'll be having today. As you know, and as per the records and conversations we've been having and studies we have been having, there is still a great amount of barriers for women to take up leadership roles based on gender differences, as well as the struggle that many women face when it comes to work, life, harmonizing that. And also when it comes to the salary pays and all of that going into the conversation of women facing the challenges in Malaysia. We also know that at this moment, there is no real structure towards growing the women in the tourism industry in Malaysia as an ecosystem in the form of an organization or anything like that. And we would love to know if any such organizations are also being developed through specific entities that we would love to explore further enhancement in. I want to highlight this factor where this is not just about Malaysia. This is a global phenomenon that women are coming together in what we call the feminine energy movement. How many of you relate to that? Right? The feminine energy movement is really about not men or women, but really getting into our heart and in a very conscious leadership space that we can operate and cause a shift in the way that the tourism industry can be taken forward. And this is very much close to our heart in Shine Go Global because we are about conscious tourism, which is not a travel agent. It's, as I said, it's an impact investing community. We really look at how the consciousness of the leaders of the industry can be uplifted so we can really come together as a collaborative community moving forward. So today's segment, we're going to have these wonderful ladies who have showed up to stand for the industry and also share with the world what is your message towards this tourism industry as we celebrate International Women's Day, and I'll call it the International Women's Month because on the 1st of March, we did the very first celebration. Mr. Reza was also present in the International Women's Day celebration in Sabah International Convention Center. We did it with some wonderful women. And one of our special guests, of course, other than Dato' Haja Rosmawati herself, was our Dame Doria Cordova from the Accelerated Business School, the global mother for global mentors. She actually said something very, very unique. She said that this is not about equality just for the women in certain countries. We're actually talking about the world not being fair to all women around the world. This is not about one country. So how are we going to rise above and make a difference? And that's probably the conversation we want to have. This is not about gender equality. This is not about who's greater, who's bigger. This is not a feminist movement. This is about how can we show up to support the growth in economic, social upliftment of the country we are in. In this instance, we're very excited about speaking into Malaysia. So let's put our hands together and say congratulations and welcome everyone to our first segment. I think this is Reza, Mr. Reza, is this the very first event for the Institute of Tourism?
For the women's, you mean? For the women's in tourism?
Yeah.
No, that's not the first. We are doing actually 8, including for Africa, for South America, and other countries for
Okay.
for the global world. But that's
Okay.
the first for the Malaysia, yes.
Okay, all right. This is the first time we're doing for the Malaysian. Okay, thank you so much. So
If you don't mind,
congratulations.
I just, now that I'm here, I just want to add that.
Please add on, please.
Yeah, this will continue and it will be a research. We have many smart ladies who are going to help us, including Dr. Jennifer Chan and many others from different countries as well. So this will be a research for the coming months and probably a year to come about the Malaysian women in tourism industry. Thank you. Please. You are muted.
And we were also told to be very clear that this is not any political or any specific agenda around this. It's really about coming together. So thank you once again for everybody tuning in. So we're going to introduce our very first speaker, and I would call it a keynote address by our very own CEO of the Sabah International Convention Center, as well as she's recently named the Iron Lady of Sabah for the amazing work she did with the BE Business Event Sabah in East Malaysia. So let's welcome Dato Raja. Sorry, I'm going to say that again. Dato Dr. Haja Rosmawati Lasuki. We really welcome you and we thank you for joining us, for being with us in this event. She holds a lot of accolades, and you want to go to the website and look at what she is being offering to the world. So let's welcome her. Thank you, Dato Haja, for joining us.
Assalamualaikum and very good afternoon, Dr. Aziza. Thank you for your kind introduction. Okay, so this is a forum or just how do you go about this? Because sorry, I was late just now. I arranging something, another meeting.
No problem. We are actually discussing about the challenges and what are your upliftment contributions, because we are talking about accelerating actions in this whole conversation. So maybe you want to share with us your insights as a tourism, a leader in the tourism industry, the challenges you have faced, and probably some advice on how we can overcome it. And I'm sure you have a lot of tips to offer to us.
Okay, thank you for that little bit enlightening. Okay, actually, I'm from this business event industry that where most of the players are the organizer as well as the supplier. That is, I'm the chair for the Sabah chapter. It's Malaysian Association Convention Exhibition Organizer and Supplier. So actually, how I come into this tourism, because I was once working. I'm still actually for the past more than 40 years in one Sabah Foundation. It's one of the agency in Sabah. So we're very much involved in tourism, but more in the industry. Let's say we've got hotels, resort, all these things. But since 2018, I was transferred to this Sabah International Convention Center. So that's where I started to talk about how to actively involve in tourism industry. One thing is that to perform as a company as well as to create the environment in Sabah. So the first thing, there's a lot of challenges because we are always depend on our timber, our plantation, all these things, and a lot of things. In our tourism are more on leisure actually before, because we have the most beautiful natural in Sabah, from mountain high, ocean deep, rivers, whatever, everything we have in Sabah. But during my time in Yayasan Sabah last time, we did found that leisure tourism compared to the business the business is much more higher. That's why we built the momentum actually since 2006. We are talking about this. It takes long time, and then in 2012 we talk about building a convention center because this is the meeting point for this event. So the challenges was that for us here is first to take on the local, because all the while they were talking about leisure tourism, and to them this event is business. It's not talking about tourists. So that's the first thing. So the first venue that I use platform to use is the Masios, the industry, the supplier, the organizer, to talk about and encourage them to be actively involved, not just to provide all those equipment for the organizer, but they themselves also have event. I mean, they are also event organizer. It only started 2023. Actually, they involved actively in this business event. So looking at the good, we have our own business event forum, the first one actually in 2024. So this one is more on the local, where we bring international speaker, leaders of the industry to share with them what is it that is they will get if they were involved in business event. And after that, there are more people involved in organizing event through our own association actually. Very, very active to the extent even we don't have much international at that time, we achieved more than our target because the active participation of the local industry. So then we move on. That's why Dr. Aziza was saying just now, we did the first international business event forum where we targeted 800 participants with 40% international and up to 50 countries. That is how how high our hope is that, because we have, it's not that easy, nothing easy, but for many years, I mean since 2014, I've been very much involved in the international conference, exhibition, meetings with people. But to me, in business event is about networking. Networking, and meeting people. And to do the event is to have collaboration, like we did with strategic partnership with Dr. Aziza in Singapore, where she helped me to sort of build up. We have a meeting where she bring in all those industry players in Singapore. So that is, I think, the new way of marketing: strategic partnership and focus and target marketing. Because I see I've been involved many years in terms of marketing. If we use the usual one, going roadshow, joint exhibition, they won't know you because there's so many people they meet, and usually they won't come back to you. But when we do strategic marketing, where we appoint one person who is influential, like Dr. Aziza is very influential in Singapore, she knows many people and engage us with these people, and we have a special meeting to present what is we are going to do as this event. So, and we come back, we know whom to contact, not only from Singapore, we also have in even in Thailand, Indonesia, Philippines, Brunei. We have one person to get these people congregate in one place, have a meeting, explain to them. So from this one person to 10% to 20. So in the end, Alhamdulillah, during the Be in Sabah, we managed to get nearly 800. And the most entertaining that we're very shukr, Alhamdulillah, we get more than 30%. It's near to 40%. We target 40, near to 40%. And our target is that more to the East ASEAN, that is Brunei, Indonesia on the southern Philippines, and Kalimantan, Manado. We get the numbers. From Philippines, we get 40 participants. From Indonesia, all these things. So the first thing first is that for me, in this, our involvement, the woman is the best one to be involved in. As I can see, also mostly women, because we are good in negotiation. I mean, we know, because as a woman from home, we only know how to manage the household actually from the early parts. So whatever we do at home actually is also can be done in our office, in business, because the way we manage, the way we focus, I mean, in any business, first thing is target. What is our target? Then we build up the process. And of course, monitoring, keep on looking at whether we're on the right track. So that's what I did for the past year, for the Be in Sabah. Yes.
It's okay. I think there was
Okay. Okay. So I think
you went muted. That's
You are muted, Doc.
okay. So where am I? Okay. The first thing that we have to talk about is strategic planning, strategic marketing, and strategic market. Everything in these days, actually, we are very happy when we built the convention center. We completed it during the COVID time, actually. So why we say very happy? After the COVID, everything changed in terms of business. So we don't have to compare. This is what I learned when I attended the Global Venue Expert Forum in Beijing. Because we don't have a legacy, we start everything new for our convention center. So when we heard that even 100 years of convention center, 60 years, 40 years, 20 years, they're also looking back into new way of business, where we have to engage the community, where we have to talk about strategic marketing. We cannot depend on the traditional way of marketing, especially convention. So that's why I say for SSCT, being the newborn, especially after the COVID, where everything has to be changed. We can't work alone. We need to have strategic partners. We need to collaborate. We need to discuss all these things. So I think after the COVID, when we start off earlier, we are on the right track. That's why the recent event, most of the industry players, including the CEO of International Congress Convention Association, that is the world MICE or business event CEO association, where they have more than 1,000 members and more than 100 countries membership, also attended our Be in Sabah, because they see that the content as well the number of people attended the event will help the industry to grow. So I think that is basically I share this because we as a woman, I think we are very resilient and with a lot of dreams. But when we have that dreams, we have also a structured plan or strategic plan to arrive to that destination. That's why the journey is a very humble journey, where we just talk about how actually to showcase what Sabah had in terms of the nature where we have this all this world class in terms of Sipadan Island, the top most beautiful diving spot. And then we talk about how best that we can enhance or increase our revenue. That's where the business event industry come about to a state of Sabah. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Hajar. Really appreciate your conversation on this. We really want to see how every woman in entrepreneurship can take it forward in making the work. Like, for example, what Dato Hajar has done, leading the whole movement. I call it a movement, Dato Business Event Sabah, because she's all out in her leadership space. So, having connected with her over the last couple of months, working hands-on, she's right. We were in Singapore. Overall, we brought in, being an anchor, brought in about 10 of our countries to be represented in Sabah, the Be in Sabah event, and collaboration is the way to go. And I want to thank Institute Tourism for creating these kind of platforms where we all can meet each other and really brainstorm and see where else we can come together to bring about a real powerful change. And really meeting the who's who of the industry as well is very exciting. In fact, I'm very excited to see the new faces who are speakers meeting for the first time and learning and exchanging ideas with you as well. So thank you once again, Dr. Haja, and congratulations for the success created through Be in Sabah. And we look forward to having you address in our next event in Institute Tourism as well. So hang in there if you can. I would love you to, probably at the end of the session, they may have questions that anybody who have questions, you can put into the chat group so we can, we can also have it addressed as we continue the conversation. It's also important for us to know that this current session is being streamed out with various platforms, including the YouTube channel, so that you know that this is being recorded and made available for you even after the session is completed. And with that, we want to invite the next speaker. We'd like to hear from a very familiar face with Institute Tourism, at least for us, as well as for Sabah, Professor Dr. Jennifer. She is the wonderful woman behind the work of University of Malaysia, Sabah, and she is the faculty in the Business, Economic and Accounting of the university. So welcome, Professor.
Yeah, good afternoon, good morning, good evening to all the audience, wherever you are. First of all, thank you, Aziza, for the introductions. And I also would like to thank the Institute of Tourism for the invitations. So I have a slide. Let me share with you my slides.
Just
Okay, can you see my slide?
I think yes.
Yes, okay. So a little bit about myself. I actually have more than 35 years experience working in the industry, to tour operator, hotel industry, as a tour guide, and subsequently I joined a higher learning institution, university. As a woman, I know one of the issue we face is the long hours working in the tourism industry. And because of the fact that I need to work long hours and also sometimes during the weekend, therefore I decided to join university. So today my topic is Malaysia women in tourism industry. I will bring you to the issue of challenges, uh, pathway for progressing. Yeah. So before that, I'd like to share with you the characteristic of tourism employment. It is very, very important for us to understand, to match the characteristic of women as well as the nature of the tourism employment. So you can see in terms of tourism employment, it's a labor intensive, service oriented, and also sometimes if you are being hired at a higher position, you need for relocations, working shift works, as well as there is a pay differences between women and the men, right? Moving on. So in terms of hotel sector, this is some of the research work that I've done. I'd like to share with you. And then after that, I will share with you the way forward, right? So in the hotel employment context, the recruitment is very subjective to the skills and attribute that each of the employee has. So normally is hotel industry tends to be more male dominance because of the culture, we being in the Malaysian culture and the nature of the industry where the male can work shift work as a driver, moving heavy items. Whereas for the woman, you tend to land up in the F&B, kitchen, housekeeping, and front office. So many times we see that women working in the hotel employment is an extension of domestic work with pay, right? You will see large proportion of women actually being hired at the low rank nature of jobs. Of course, there has been over the years increasing number of women being holding a middle and higher position. But still, all in all, men become still the dominance of this managerial and higher position. So a little bit of information on women in the tourism industry. So through the research highlighted by Ho, less than 10% of the hotel managers are women, right? Although women is a significant source of labor in the tourism and hotel, and globally, based on World Tourism Organization, 54% of the tourism workforce are actually held by the women, and less than 40% actually hold the managerial positions. Yeah, and in terms of comparing the developed country and developing country have less in terms of women holding managerial positions. And there is also a big gaps in terms of pay, right? Through the research from the World Tourism Organization, 18.9% less being paid to the women in the accommodation and food service, 14.7% less in the tourism, and of course 16.8% in other industry, which is quite obvious, yeah? Moving on, so what are some of the issues and challenges faced by women in the industry? This issue, based on my research and literature review, is also reflect in the Malaysia context. That means gender inequality, where less women are being held managerial or leadership positions, long hours, low pay, and then that is also a limited career opportunity for women because mostly they are working in the low rank and file. So another piece of information interested why there is a lack of women at the top position is because generally women have less self-confidence as compared to women and work-life balance and family because being a woman, household is also part of the responsibility. So and further, that is a negative connotation being women working in the hotel industry or front of the house. Of course, the society has gradually accepted, but still, if you go looking at the previous study, there is a huge negative connotation being working in a hotel. Yeah, I recall when I joined tourism industry, my parents was also very much against it as a female working in the tourism industry. Yeah. So moving on. So women in the tourism industry in Malaysia, this is some of the facts. 60 to 70% are actually contributing in 2019. So mostly are in the frontliner, like service-oriented, housekeeping, customer services, because the nature of the woman, they have that kind of characteristic and suitability of the personality to deal with that. And of course, managerial position has been increasing. The key issue faced is a wage gaps, limited access to higher positions, and of course, work-life balance. Yeah. So based on my research from one of the study on women in hotel employment, transportation seems to be one of the issue, especially in the rural area where there was a limited transportation for them to go to work. And towards that, there's another critical issue where if childcare facility is provided, that will actually facilitate the woman to stay in the hotels. Yeah, and of course, within the pandemic situation, women was the first one being reduced working hours, being retrenched, due to lockdown and travel restriction. So after the post-pandemic, there is an increase of gender discriminations. And of course, there is also an effort to integrate women into the workforce by having initiatives such as providing trainings, re-upskilling women. Yeah, go back to the industry, right? So moving on. So issue and faced by women in the hotel industry in Sabah. woman is often seen as the dual workers. So whether you're working in hotels or working in the tourism company, you are actually holding two positions, one as an employee, one as a household caretakers. So they need to divide. This is one of the challenge that the women need to divide their time between employment and the home, right? Mostly they will leave the job if they are not able to manage it. And majority the women retain not because as a career, but as an economy reason, because they need income, right? So working in shift, lack of especially childcare are the two uh, main barrier for women to stay. And of course, very difficult for them to hold supervisory and managerial position because of the long hour due to extra responsibility. Once you hold a higher position, right, you cannot go, after 5, or, your schedule, your duties really considered as a longer hours work. And sometimes you need to travel outstations. Yeah. So, and of course, until now, there's still a general discrimination in terms of hiring. Of course, it doesn't stated asking whether you're a man or, when you apply gender, whether male or female, right? So this is based on my research finding. Yeah. So in conclusion, we know tourism is an important tool for women to be employed. And also tourism is one of the tools that enable women to sort of achieve gender inequality and empowerment for women in the tourism industry, right? So what we need to look at is the gender inequality, limited access to leadership, job security are very important if we want to enable women to participate more and to be more successful in terms of their career in tourism. Yeah. And this comes to the access of training and financial resources. Yeah. And of course, without government or industries initiative to support, it is quite difficult for women to enhance their empowerment and their career, right? Just to quickly share with you what is happening in Malaysia in terms of tourism. MOTAC, Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture, have actually come up with a program to support women in tourism. For example, entrepreneurship training, financial assistance for SME. And also our government is also given a focus on gender equality in tourism, where they adapt a policy to promote women's empowerment in this sector. Yeah. So moving on, way forward, right? So we know one way for women to move forward is empowering women is very important. And how we can do it is through relevant training, policy reform, and entrepreneurship support. Yeah. So what I'm here to suggest that we should set up Women Research Center, and this center will facilitate and provide necessary training program, skill building, leadership, training, women empowerment. Secondly, this center should have record and statistic data for women, because right now in Malaysia, we don't have specific statistical data in hotel, in tourism, in tour operator, F&B. And these are crucial information for the policymaker to come out with a more comprehensive, relevant policy. And of course, further research related to women empowerment, like the issue, the challenges faced, right? How to strengthen women's participation in tourism are the crucial area for research. Secondly, promoting community-based tourism initiative. So when we go down to the communities-based tourism initiative, gender sensitivity and also ensure equal participation is very important. It's not only for what you call community-based tourism. Third, I think revisit the human resource management policy at the national level and at the tourism organization level, because I found that besides the gender gaps, right, the career opportunity, the work-life balance, and compensation in terms of salary has to be improved and revised so that the woman would able to stay and have the opportunity to develop their career. Finally, I'd like to share with you what I have done for the women's in tourism industry in the rural area. Allow me to show you a few of the slides. So this is one of the initiative way back 2018 before COVID. That time I was the director of Borneo Tourism Research Center. I have collaborate with Kulu Tourism Research Association. Elma Crust is a local college, and Kedamaian Tourism Association. So we came out, I decided that to come up with the training and upskilling rural tourism for the women. Initially, I did not target for women, but it happened come out that majority are the women in the rural area. So the batch, I managed to get 37 participants. Second batch, 2019 to 2020, 20 packs, right? So it came out with a newspaper also to show the initiative from the university, work with the college association, and to boost the rural tourism, yeah, in terms of skill. And we finally signed a memorandum of understanding. This is for the 4 parties. And then this is one of the slide during the training session at Kota Belud. A majority are women participation. Yeah, and there are 6 modules I trained them. One of it is also to build up their confidence, because these women in the rural area have very little confidence. Okay, so you can see in my group only 3 males. Majority are the women. Yeah, this is held at Kota Belud, one of the district office training room. Yeah, so here presenting her project during the training session, build up the confidence. The second one with the 3 participants is another training session at Kulu. Yeah, woman. Then towards the end, we have a simple graduation for the participant, which held at Amacross College, where the participant with the competency assessment plus full attendance, they are being awarded as a certificate of competency. And this is the local newspaper that come up with the news. Local community play a very important role in rural tourism. And then we also have the news published in a Chinese newspaper, where giving the training, provide a better rural tourism services. And this is another Chinese newspaper. This is an initiative coming from myself as the director of Borneo Tourism Institute. And another proud project output of the training that I did at Kulu, a grassroots project on herbal tourism led by a local community. This map shows she have 2 acres of farmland, but she doesn't know how to develop into tourism product. As you can see, I have actually throughout the training, after the training, I guide her how to develop souvenir shops, right? They have learning center, they have flower gardens, they have herbal tea, culinary. So, and eventually the tourism packages will develop after the training. So she has a camping packages, she has the day trip entry, she has the guest house and outdoor activity, right? And in fact, this project has won the 3rd place competition within the UMS. That was way back 2020, I suppose. Yeah. And the last project I did was funded by Ministry of Tourism, Sabah, where we did a training and upskilling program on wildlife tourism and sustainable ecotourism practices at Kinabatangan, Sandakan. So as you can see, majority again are from women, coming from the women. So what I'm saying is that women actually play a critical role, contribute significant labor force in Malaysia tourism industry, but there has been little effort and a little effort in terms of initiative program that a center should form and deliver and assist women as well as research. Yeah. With that, thank you very much for listening to me.
Thank you so much, Professor Jennifer, for the wonderful presentation. I just want to add very quick things. First of all, I want to thank to people of Sabah and the Convention Center and Datu Aja for their hospitality. I am still in Sabah, leaving tomorrow, and I had a great time. I had also good meeting with Professor Jennifer and the others. I just want to add to the Dr. Jennifer that we lack the statistic in Malaysia, and that's very important, and that's a big issue. I have got the latest number, which is probably from 3-4 years ago from United Nations Tourism. I have added to the website, and we will update that. And I just want to call to all the people here and who will get to hear us. Please, if you have some number or cases, please share with us. That's very important. If you want to do any research, any improvement, you need some statistics. And I understand that Malaysia is a little more difficult case, for example, than Korea. In Korea, you don't have a multi-ethnic, multi-racial or religious. So here is a little more difficult, but it makes it also exactly more important to work on this. And please stay out of the politics. We don't want to go in the politics and make this a political issue. This is about the women's in tourism industry. Thank you so much. Just the other speakers, please try to keep to 10 minutes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And that's a lot of insight information. I think many of us are familiar with it. At the same time, it is also for us to be reminded what's working and what's not working so that we can do something about it, right? So maybe we would love to make this as an engaging conversation as well. You can put into the chat group, what was the biggest takeaway from you from Dr. Jennifer's sharing, because then in that way we re-emphasize, even Dato Hajar's sharing, so we can re-emphasize the learnings and the takeaways that we can apply to the work that we are currently committed to in the tourism industry. Would that work? Yeah, okay, great. Thank you very much. Next, we have on board the topic on from the Islamic Tourism Center in Malaysia, Ms. Nur Alisa Caroline Yusin. And she's the Director of Research and Training Division of the Islamic Tourism Center. Welcome, Ms. Nur Alisa.
Thank you very much. Okay, so do I start now? I start now. Okay, sure. Right, so Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In the name of Allah, the all compassionate, all merciful, and peace be upon the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his family and companions. I saw quite a few familiar faces. I think I've met Dr. Jennifer personally once, and I'm not quite sure if Dr. Hajar Rosmawati remembers me, but I think I've met her like, I don't know, many, many years ago when she was with the Yayasan Sabah. How are you, Dato'?
Alhamdulillah, but yeah, I do remember you, Nur Alisa,
You
yes.
do? Okay, that's good. Thank you. So it's nice to see you here, and I think I think Sabah has really made a lot of progress in that sense, and I think you've really contributed a lot to Sabah. I know you've been with Sabah Foundation for so many years. All right, so I think I saw also a few familiar names, Marina Nazrin from South Africa, and I think Dr. Shahira. Those are a few names that I managed to catch just now. So Well, it's a pleasure to be here today. I am Nur Alisa Coraline Yusin, currently Director of the Research and Training Division at ITC, Islamic Tourism Center, Malaysia. I am very much honored to speak amongst the women that I really admire at this special program, and my gratitude to Institute Tourism for this opportunity, especially as we approach the International Women's Day 2025 happening 8th of March, right? Thank you very much, Dr. Aziza, for the introduction just now. So this year's theme, Accelerate Action, resonates deeply as we advance the Islamic tourism sector. We must create environments where women are valued, their voices are heard, and their leadership is celebrated. So I have a few slides. I hope this can help basically in terms of understanding some of the things that I am sharing. Allow me to introduce a little bit about ITC. We are the only government agency worldwide dedicated to advancing the Islamic tourism sector at the moment, established in 2009 under the Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture, MOTAC. ITC plays a key role in developing the Muslim-friendly tourism and hospitality, in short, MFTH ecosystem, through various initiatives, that is capacity development programs, research, standards development and recognition, networking, collaborations, and advisory services. So you must be wondering why there is a need for a dedicated agency to look into the travel affairs of Muslim community. Well, basically, with the huge population, Muslim population, demographic spread worldwide, and a growing spending power, we found that the Muslim travel market offers huge economic potential to destinations that cater to their needs. Now, talking about needs, Muslim travelers are a unique and faith-conscious tourist group, basically. So their travel choices are influenced by their faith and beliefs, meaning they actively seek destinations to cater to their needs. When making travel decisions, they look for halal food options, Muslim-friendly accommodations, private facilities, privacy for females, and family-oriented activities. Destinations with a sound MFTH landscape signals these to potential Muslim travelers. Now, the beauty of the MFTH ecosystem that ITC advocates for is that it is Muslim friendly, not Muslim only. So I think that needs to be really communicated well. These services aren't just for Muslims. They are for anyone who appreciates the added benefits businesses provide, which are universal values such as safety, warmth, respect, and cleanliness. So basically, after all, Muslim travelers are just like any other tourists. They enjoy the same attractions and activities and desire to have meaningful engagement and experiences that any destination can offer. So the only difference is that they seek assurance for their faith-based needs. Now, when we look at MFTH, Muslim-friendly tourism and hospitality, it ensures that the needs of Muslim travelers are met, from halal dining to prayer facilities, with the Muslim tourist market expected to reach 230 million international arrivals by 2028, with tourism revenue estimated at $225 billion US. The growth potential is immense. So what's interesting is that women are central to this growth, basically. According to the Global Muslim Travel Index 2024, GMTI, 49.2% of the global Muslim population are women, and 436 million Muslim women aged 21 to 50 are the most influential in travel planning. So this data very much true, I would say. Many of us are actually, basically, I think everybody agrees that women pretty much decides, where to go, and when it comes to holidays and things like that. I see somebody nodding their head there. So this fact is significant to tourism and hospitality industry players such as hoteliers, tourism product and shopping mall owners, spa centers, tourist guides, and etc. Because when they are able to provide suitable products and services to cater to women's need for privacy, safety, modesty, family-friendly activities, and their love for beautiful things, healthy lifestyles, and more, they stand a chance to endear themselves to these female influencers. Truly, as a woman, a wife, a mother, whenever we make travel decisions, as I've mentioned earlier, we always gravitate towards choices that appeal to our female needs and anything that eases our female role, right? So I do believe that is what's happening basically when women definitely makes decision most of the time. So I've been with ITC since 2009, and I feel very fortunate, really, in this role. I'm able to champion women and their needs, both from the woman traveler side and also the female business owner within the tourism landscape. Today we see remarkable progress. We actively work with industry players to pay special attention to women through the provision of safe and private spaces at hotels, spa and wellness centers. I know we have some spa operators here, I was told, and through general tourism services in order to provide a comfortable and meaningful travel experiences for them. Now, we have just quickly made some checks just now. For example, the Saujana Hotel KL offers private check-in services and also personal escort to the room for female travelers or female travelers at the hotels, basically for safety. So that is something that I think very, very nice if it's offered in the hotel. So through these efforts, we see MFTH, Muslim Friendly Tourism and Hospitality Assurance and Recognition, MFA certified hotels being led by female general managers like, I think you can see in the picture, Datin Sheena Mark from Wyndham Akmal Klang. And out of 276 Muslim-friendly tourist guides, MFTGs, we have trained 133 are women. That's roughly about 48% of them, actively shaping the industry and delivering tourism services from the female gaze. Interesting sharing by Dr. Jennifer just now on how tourism is a labor-intensive and service-oriented industry, Doctor, and I do very much agree with that. So, but then again, in fact, in ITC itself, we have more females now. More females now, at about 2/3 of our employees are actually females. So now throughout my 16 years in the industry, basically, I have witnessed numerous businesses thrive in the Islamic tourism sector by embracing the MFTH concept and practices, and how these have ultimately benefited women travelers and business owners. Now, let me share with you some of the examples. For example, our MFA hotels have dedicated facilities and services, such as specially designated hours for female hotel guests to use the gym and the pool, and female-only room floors. And then the feedback that we received shows how appreciative the female travelers are at this hotel for this simple gesture to accommodate their wish for privacy and modesty. As mentioned earlier, we have trained 133 female tourist guides as Muslim-friendly tourist guides, MFTGs. And these are services that are potentially sought after with the rise of girlfriend getaways and female-only tours, female-only groups. And the Association of Malaysia Spas has also welcomed ITC's efforts in creating guidelines for the spa industry to ensure that female therapists are able to work in a safe environment that prevent possible sexual harassment. And in fact, these MFA guidelines even protect the credibility of the spa industry from notorious perceptions, basically. And these are among the some of the initiatives where women participation is very much encouraged and very much protected, particularly in the travel and tourism industry. We collaborated with partners that offer women-only travel packages with special focus on women's interests. For example, at the recent Unbreakable conference, as you can see on the slides, for Muslim women, the organizer, a female-led NGO, sold out all tickets and gained further revenue from merchandise retailing and sales booths. Beyond economic impact, we've seen women play a vital role as cultural storytellers. And initiatives like the Mosque Tour program led by women, for example, like in Masjid Jami' Cina Muslim in Klang and Masjid Walaya. These are the two examples. And of course, there are a lot more other masjid or mosque that have a female in-house guide. It fostered cross-cultural understanding while preserving Malaysia's Islamic heritage. Another example is the Misowala homestay in Kinabatangan, Sabah, where women lead operations, promoting environmental sustainability and supporting local livelihoods. So these services do not only cater to Muslim women, they also enhance the travel experience for everyone. Now, our commitment extends beyond recognition, basically, through platforms like the Islamic Tourism Corporate Forum, Women in Islamic Tourism Economy, that we have organized a few years back, and also the World Islamic Tourism Conference, WITC, happens biannually. We showcase women who are shaping the industry. Recently, Jennifer Ogunyemi, founder of Sisters in Business, inspired us with her journey of empowering Muslim women entrepreneurs. I'm not quite sure if Miss Jennifer is with us though. So despite their contributions and accomplishments, women face persistent challenges. According to the Khazanah Research Institute 2023, women's labor force participation in Malaysia remains at 56.2% compared to men's at 82.3%. However, in the tourism sector, I think Dr. Jennifer also shared a little bit just now, the situation is somewhat better, with women representing 49% of the workforce, reflecting positive outcomes from government-led initiatives. So some stats that have been shared by Dr. Jennifer earlier on the gaps in senior management position, issues like work-life balance, lack of confidence, long hours, outstation work requirements, and these are, I do believe, the challenges that we face every day, and particularly when it comes to senior management position. And I do agree with Dr. Jennifer. I love the idea about the Women Research Center, though, and also the way forward on getting more women to be involved in particularly the tourism sector. And to advance women's role, we must foster a culture of mentorship, collaboration, and knowledge sharing. Women who mentor others create a ripple effect of empowerment, strengthening the entire tourism ecosystem. Recognition programs like MFA, the Muslim-Friendly Tourism and Hospitality Assurance and Recognition, and MFTG, Muslim-Friendly Tourist Guide, are powerful tools for empowering women-led businesses. Through these initiatives, women not only break barriers, but set new standards for excellence. So it is also crucial. It's also crucial to advocate for women in decision making.
1 minute, please.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right. It's crucial to advocate for women in decision-making roles. Their leadership ensures that policies align with environmental, social, and governance, ESG principles, promoting sustainability and gender equity. Let's just see about the men's role in supporting women. Basically, having said that, I believe it is also important to note that men also play a central role in this growth by championing women. For example, what Dr. Reza is doing here, creating mentorship opportunities and actively supporting their growth. Men can help to tear down barriers and create environments where women excel. Now, in conclusion, Women are the backbone of the Islamic tourism and MFTH. Their insights and leadership create a future where travel is more inclusive, responsive, and sustainable. As we move toward Visit Malaysia 2026, let us continue to uplift and empower each other. When women succeed, entire community prosper. So to further empower women in Islamic tourism and MFTH, we need to foster a supportive environment that addresses their specific needs and challenges. This includes promoting education and training, providing access to funding and resources, and challenging restrictive cultural norms. So to all the ladies, let's work together to create a more inclusive and equitable tourism sector, MFTH particularly, where women can thrive and contribute their unique talents. So that is all from me. Do reach out for more information or for collaboration. So thank you for your attention. May Allah bless you, bless our efforts. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I'm sorry. I just want to mention the presence of few good colleagues. First of all, our executive board and the two-term Secretary General, United Nations Tourism, Dr. Taleb Rafai is here. Also, Mr. Gary Bowman from Kuala Lumpur, one of the highest and the most knowledgeable expert in tourism from the Asia. I've been living, I think, many years in KL, and then Mr. Imtiaz, the famous journalist, tourism journalist from Thailand. Thank you so much, and of course, many other people, including the United Nations women. Thank you. Ms. Aziza, please, the next slide.
Thank you so much. And it's really inspiring to see different perspectives of the tourism industry represented from Malaysia, sharing out the insight. So really appreciate it. Thank you, Ms. Nuralisa, for covering that comprehensive perspective to Islamic tourism, you know, and in that space. And there's a lot of conversations that we can have. In fact, you know, every woman sharing are supposed to be one session by itself, you know, so that we can really cover quite a lot of comprehensive dynamics for the topic that we are discussing today. So thank you once again. Appreciate it. So next we have Ms. Zahira, the founder of Universal Holidays. Thank you so much for joining us. The mic is yours, madam.
Hi, Assalamualaikum, and a very good evening. I hope all of you can hear me clear. Right. So thank you so much for the opportunity today, to be with the esteemed speakers. I've met some of them. And the sharing session that is being done here is something that can empower us and can definitely enlighten us in how we can actually work together and improvise the tourism industry specifically. I will not share much on the statistics or the numbers and the figures because we have the experts from the education, from the GLCs, and from the government agencies. So what I'll do is more on experience sharing. So just to start with, I'm Zahira, the CEO and founder of Universal Holiday Travel and Tourism. What we do is we are inbound travel company specializing in MICE, which is Meeting, Incentive, Conference and Exhibition, as well as we do other segment of tourism into FITs, online, B2B distribution and all. So I'll just share a little about myself. I've been in the industry for the last 26 years. I started my career with the airline. I was with Cathay Pacific, and then I joined a travel company which was based in Dubai, and I started Universal in 2010. Being accredited by various agencies, but I'm here to share more on experience on my day-to-day operation. You see, when we talk about tourism, we have hotel, we have transportation, we have guides, we have all kind of services. What makes us unique is we combine all the services and we provide to our customers. And this is where the real challenge is. The market that we are catering, 60% of the market that Universal Holiday is catering is the Indian market. And then we do have the Middle East market, and we do the rest of the world. Now, when you're talking about specific market, when you're talking about specific nationality, And being woman in the industry, dealing with the 90% of male travelers, there is a lot of challenges. And I'll go to the challenges first. Number one is definitely long working hours, challenging the work-life balance. But the good thing is, Dr. Aziza, 80% of our company employees are female. My three head of departments, whether it is operation, mice, and also product, are female. The only guy that we have in our office, the general manager, is a male. The rest workforce are female because one is the resistance. We have that willpower. We have that the crave to solve problems, to give the service, because tourism is all about service. Women are very passionate. We take things very seriously. One miss pickup, one restaurant booking, anything, we do it with complete passion. And here at Universal, we do large incentive group. The biggest group that I'll take a case study, the biggest group that we operated was last year, August, 4,300 passengers, one go, State Bank of India, 90% travelers were male. We had to do gala dinner, 2,000 packs each, full board. And it was a labor intense work that we have to do. I did not really sleep for like almost 10 days. So do my team. We had probably a nap in between for an hour or two, because again, it's labor intense and we have to provide the service. So this is very challenging, and not all women can do this, because at the end we have responsibility back home. Despite men and women are considered breadwinners in the family, male, right? Then second thing is the gender stereotype. I'll give you some example that I have actually faced in trade shows and road shows. I also do extensive traveling in Middle East and Pakistan and also Indonesia. And most of our customers that we are dealing are male. So when you walk up to a travel agency, you will see probably in Middle East 100% male. If you see in India, probably 50 to 60% are male. If you go to Pakistan, almost 99% are male. I was in a room with 7 male who is my customer, and we were discussing about business. And suddenly one of the director, he just told me off. He said that, Zaira, Malaysian woman seems to be very advanced. You are traveling, coming to my country on your own, and you are sitting between the male. I can't imagine my wife or my daughter or my sister doing this. I was like, I do not know how to react. I do not know whether it was a compliment or an insult. So the only thing that I had to answer was like, yes, sir, I appreciate. But Malaysia women, yes, we have advanced. Our 70 to 60% of Malaysian women are graduate. We lead the workforce. The Malaysian government is empowering women and giving a mandate to all the GLC company to have 30% board of directors. And he looked at my face and says that, okay, I will never ever marry a Malaysian woman. I was like, oh. So this is the gender bias that we have to face, because when we are dealing with multiple race, with multiple culture, we need to be ready how they're going to perceive us as a woman while we're going to deal with them. So, and then there is maintaining the personal distance. How do we actually do that? When you are in Malaysia, when you are dealing with the ecosystem here, it is very easy. You can understand because you come from the same background, same culture. Somehow or other, you have the understanding. But when you step out from your country and you are dealing with different nationality and different concept or perception of female that they have, it is a very, very difficult, and there is a very thin line that you have to pull so that you're not being perceived as over friendly. So you have to maintain professionalism and being nice and friendly. So there can be very difficult boundaries for us to do. So that's something that I find that in tourism industry in Malaysia, because our economy is growing, inbound into Malaysia is increasing. Malaysia is currently number 14 in the world in terms of incoming tourism. So when we are dealing with tourism, not only we will have to see what we're going to do internally, but we will also have to see what we're going to do externally. How are we going to manage the expectation of our potential tourists that coming into our country? So that's very, very important. There's a lot of opportunity in the industry. It is growing. But like what being highlighted by the previous speaker, it is always the lower scale job that is being filled by the Malaysian women, whether it is in customer service, whether it is in guide, whether it is in the in any field, housekeeping, waiters, waitresses, cabin crew. So it is always the low paying job. Uh, in the industry that I am in, specifically in the market segment that I'm in, there's handful of women. There's only, I think, 2 or 3 of us. The rest of our competitor are all male. So whenever we want to pick up a big project like SBI that I was bidding with, there was definitely a question: how are you going to manage? What will be the working time? How are you going to control this? It involves much more than only accommodation. It involves gala dinner, which has after party, and you have an open bar. And we as women are managing the particular event. The moment you step in the ballroom, you have 2,000 men who are drinking. How are you going to manage that? How are you going to put that boundary? Are you going to hire extra male staff to manage that particular event so that you don't get into unnecessary uncomfortable situation? So these are the things that we are actually facing in the industry. When you come out from the comfort of research and marketing or all that, come down to the real execution level, then you will see the amount of problems and the amounts and issue that we are facing. Despite we want to just shrug it under the carpet and say that sorry, no, we women are being treated equally. This is Malaysia. We are in 2025. Everything is equal, but the perception of the potential customers, the countries that we are dealing with, that makes the difference. So I'll just go that. So why I should say that there's a lot of opportunity for women. We have the soft power. We have that ability to influence. If you want to sell something, we can definitely sell it in a very different way. We can convince. So I always believe that we as a woman, we have that soft power. And it's just matter, do we have that confidence or are we brave enough to use that? And again, this connect to the personal distance and maintaining the thin line of professionalism and using our soft power. How are we going to use that professionally without getting offended in either way, right? So, and also we as a woman, we do have a lot of sense of empathy, patience, and high tolerance. I'll give you an example. You have a lot of phone calls back to back. You have a lot of questions being thrown at you. Ask, like for example, okay, I'm going to check in at Kuala Lumpur. I need this information. I need that information. I need a lot of nitty gritty informations. A client asks you that. And we as a woman, we do have that patience and we have that high tolerance to actually respond. And that set us apart. I'm sorry, Reza, from the male counterpart. where they get very irritated and they feel that, the guy is asking me so much of question, just look into the website, just do that. We women will take the effort to probably do a proper nice presentation, do the slide, reply the long lengthy emails, respond to the WhatsApp. So I think that is something that we women do not realize, that we have that sense of high tolerance, which is much needed in this travel industry, because it's very long, it's very, very challenging. Another thing that I have not added is also the creativity that we have in solving a problem. What I can see different between a male staff in my office and a female staff, whenever there's a problem, a guy will intend to say that, what, it's okay, it's time's up, I'm not going to do something. But a woman will be very creative in replying to it and answering to to solve the problem. So yeah, that's what I think. I believe that I think I should have conversation. So if anyone has some question to me on the experience, because I'm on ground, so I have a lot of experience to share, and I'll be more than happy. I think I still have some time.
Great, thank you so much. And unfortunately, we don't have time. A lot of, you have done a very comprehensive comparison and giving your real personal example. Being a Singaporean born, Indian origin, Chinese speaking, and with heritage from Middle East, I know what it takes. What kind of struggle people go through when reaching out to not only the what you call the male sector, but in the tourism industry itself, how people can be judged. That's also the very reason why we have created the conscious tourism framework. And I tell you, Ms. Zahira, we have taken a stand to say no alcohol in tourism, in wellness tourism, and to make it prosper through impact investing. So it's a very different dynamic, and it's also a lot of stand that we need to make in the industry because it is being challenged. Even one of the Middle East ambassador questioned me, tourism without alcohol? He gave me a very cynical look, but that's what it is. Can we make prosperous development thrive together in a more comprehensive, inclusive environment? And that's a challenge that the world can take on right now based on all the activities that we're talking about here. So thank you so much for your sharing, for what you've put together, and it's really valuable. We really appreciate it. Thank you so much. One more, so as we remind ourselves, we have to say it's about 10 minutes, and we are already 1 hour, 20 minutes into the 1 hour session. So clearly we are past the time very much, but the knowledge and the sharing is so valuable. We continue to, have everybody share their insights. For everybody's knowledge, these are all recorded, and later it will be available for everybody to watch at the Institute tourism.com website. So next we have with us Dr. Salma Topimin. She's a senior lecturer at the Faculty of Business, Economics and Accounting, University Malaysia, Sabah. Welcome, Dr. Salma.
All right, thank you, Dr. Aziza. Let me share my screen, yeah. Okay, Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. Okay, and thank you again, Dr. Aziza, as well as Dr. Reza, okay, for inviting me to share some experience or knowledge that I have pertaining to, maybe I little bit go outside the, what we call it, women in general, but I'm going to be specified on women entrepreneurs, right? And as introduced just now, I'm Dr. Salma, and I'm a senior lecturer from University Malaysia Sabah, the same faculty as Professor Jennifer just now, yeah. Okay, so before I speak about women entrepreneurs, specifically in tourism industry, I just want to highlight a little bit of the issues that I know most of the previous speakers have mentioned just now, have shared just now, yeah, which is in my point of view, okay, we cannot talk about women in this economic development, about their participation in the public sphere, without saying the issues of visibility, okay, about gender equality, as well as we try to empowerment. But what I'm going to focus is only on the financial part. I know that empowerment is in many ways, but talking about businesses, talking about women entrepreneurs, financial empowerment, financial freedom is one of them that we want to see more women that have control on their financial stability, right? So this is not the issues that we have to pick one by one. It comes together as a challenge or burden to women. I would say that, yeah. Even though maybe every single presenter have said that, but this is what we call it as a long debated issue that it takes time, slowly, but surely I believe, yeah. So we as women, we hunger to be seen, okay, to be acknowledged, to be recognized, because what we do in our daily life is something which is very difficult to be explained in words until you on your own as a woman, you do it, yeah. So sometimes we're talking even to your spouse, okay, the appreciation or the meaning maybe is not the same as what you are telling him, okay. So it's not that we really we call it a challenge that we cannot overcome, but we actually in a situation where, come on, recognize, okay, come on, appreciate me, okay, to be seen, to be visible, okay, because it also relates to what we talk about equality, okay, because sometimes when we're talking about equity, what we have today, the session, is very good to see men in the session, okay, because normally we talk about gender equality, but sadly, those who are present in that particular session is mostly women, okay, but since the power of the source of the power is from men, we actually, or whatever session discussing about women, need to be what call it, participated by men as well, so that we are not talking something that later on it goes to the drain as well. Okay, we know as a woman, we know what we need. Okay, but on the other parts, the men, do they understand about the needs of the woman itself? So we need to have more men participating in this kind of session, right? And at the end, about financial empowerment. Okay, why we encourage women to go or to participate in economic activities in the public space and so on, because we want them to be have control in terms of their savings, investment, income, and also they have knowledge, okay, in terms of financial itself that can help them to be better than before, yeah. And talking about women in tourism, okay, most of the speakers have mentioned about employed, where we still in the situation we give the label of women's work, okay, lower professional categories, low skill, lower status, lower pay, long hours, and so on. So I give you another opportunity by being self-employed. Okay, so employed and also self-employed, these are the categories of employment status that we use in Malaysia. And under self-employment, okay, either this woman become the employers, or own account worker without employees, okay, or unpaid family workers. Okay, so if let's say being employed in this industry, okay, give them so much on the issues of women's work, okay, so there is also another possibility, okay, for example, like Miss Zahira just now, yeah, who has a very interesting experience based on what she is doing now. Okay, so in terms of the type of business, okay, there are subsectors within this tourism itself that women can go in. All right, accommodation, transportation, travel services, okay, food and beverage services, crafts and souvenirs, events management, you name it. Okay, so based on what are the skills, the convenience, and the capability of the woman itself, they can choose for this self-employment and choose the types of business that suits with the resources that they have. Yeah, and some of the pictures I would say because this is from the Sabah context. Okay, for example, the first lady, okay, the first picture on the left side. Okay, actually this lady, previously she works in the hotel industry, okay, hospitality, and then she quit because of some personal reason, and then she ventured into a business, a small micro businesses, okay, dealing in food and beverages. But one way of how she in contact, okay, with this tourism industry by what we call it, having tourists from various countries and sharing the experience of preparing local foods, and it becomes a good income for the business, rather than just selling the products to the market. But this kind of experience, this kind of services, okay, helped her a lot in gaining extra income or revenue for the business. Okay, and also the second one is a guest with a homestay business. Okay, this is normal for certain communities, and this is the picture taken in the area of Kulu Sabah. Yeah, and the last picture is a very prominent woman entrepreneurs, or I would call it master in the handicraft businesses, okay, in weaving, okay, where she has 60 years of experience in doing this. Okay, so this, all the activities that this woman do is not easy, okay, because it's not only what we can see from this picture, but something behind this picture that only them can share or tell how they can reach to that stage. Yeah, that cannot be explained from the picture. Okay, so some statistic about women entrepreneurs in Malaysia. Okay, as you can see from this table, yeah, this statistic taken from the Economic Census 2023 by the Department of Statistics Malaysia. You can see services 91.6% in 2010, 2015, okay, 92.7%, and then 2022. 93.6%. So in this particular sector, these are the women as well as tourism, okay, falls under this category, where this gave a huge opportunity for women to tap and excel in this sector. And in Malaysia in general, okay, slightly below 100% is micro, small and medium enterprises, and 20.6%, okay, slightly higher of 30% that women own. Right? So we have the picture. Where is the women entrepreneurs in Malaysia? They are in the service industry, okay, where tourism is one of them, and also they own mostly micro businesses. Yeah. Okay, so talking about opportunities, yeah, okay, we have to look on the woman itself. As mentioned by previous speaker, women, they have a certain uniqueness, okay? They look soft, but they have a strength that no one can challenge, even the men, right? So what I'm suggesting here for women, okay, if they want to go for this tourism opportunity as a being self-employed, yeah, so which means rather than focusing on this very challenging employment status of being employed, so why not go to the self-employment because of the growing of this industry itself, and then how women can take control, okay, based on this industry, okay, and this industry is a third largest contributor in the Malaysia's GDP. So of course, there are much can be done in the industry itself, and also minimal entry obstacle in tourism only for some sectors. We are not talking about hotels, for example, but other supporting industry that women can tap in. It requires minimum obstacle because women can utilize the skills, the resources, the communities that they belong to. Yeah, and women in general, naturally, they have these hospitality features. Okay, talking about women, about punctuality, about attention to detail, about fine works and everything, it goes to women, right? So this comparative advantage, okay, need to be utilized. Okay, need to give advantage to women, okay, embarking to this tourism industry. And also, one good thing about tourism industry for women, they do not have to leave their areas or communities, because some of the tourism sectors allow women to work or to create their business within their areas, within the communities. So all the issues related to their domestic issues and so on, leaving the family behind and so on, they can control on that aspect. Okay. And another good opportunities for women is the collective support that communities can give to women as well as peers, because this is the right thing, I think, for Malaysia or Sabah in particular, about this collectivist culture. You cannot imagine, okay, the support they can get from their peers or communities. Okay, one example that I have talked to one woman entrepreneur, she doesn't have employee, but she got support from 150 communities in supplying the products to her. Okay, so that kind of power, okay, push women to go beyond their limited resources and so on. Yeah. And also, another opportunity we can say in general, because the first part of that opportunity is related solely to women, the uniqueness of women itself, and the environment. But in general, okay, for tourism, okay, abundance of opportunities in terms of the growing of the industry, okay, about the various types of tourist demands, okay, there are plenty of various types of tourists nowadays. It's not only domestic, it's not only international, it's not only that, okay, we have several other categories of tourists, okay, for business, for leisure, for sport and everything. The same goes to the tourism products, okay. So I think the way, the habit, the trends, the preferences of people, okay, in tourism is unlimited. Okay, they call it under whatever categories, either for medical, either for leisure, either for nature whatsoever. But it is abundance of opportunities for women to go in and to fill that gap. Yeah, and also government support in tourism. Okay, government support in tourism, I think for Malaysia in general or Sabah in particular, because I think for Sabah, for example, okay, recently, correct me if I'm wrong, okay, because there are some prominent Sabahan people here. Okay, about the Young Women Entrepreneurs Empowerment Program, okay, under this 2025 budget was launched, was announced by the Chief Minister to help young women under the age of 45. So they are expected of giving this what we call it, support to 200 beneficiaries, women. So maybe women in Sabah itself can channel their interest, try to get
Yes,
this.
Miss Salma, if we can round it off in about
Yeah,
a
little
minute.
minute.
Yeah, thank
Right.
you.
And also, last but not least, the benefits of digital technologies and how these digital technologies works very closely with this tourism industry. Yeah. And unfortunately, okay, whatever we do in these activities, there are some challenges. Okay, and I think even though we have training and so on, we must be able, whatever training that we give to women, try to create women entrepreneurs in a very, what we call it, professional way. Try to give them not only to start a business, but if possible for them to grow the business, yeah, in this tourism. So teaching them about business model, on how they can capture values, create values, deliver values and so on, rather than just giving on the technical aspect. And also business related skill, especially digital literacy, that we really need nowadays. Yeah.
So what we can do is, because these slides will be recorded, I mean, given to put on the website. So definitely everything that you have created will be available for people to look at for sure.
All right. Okay. And these are some other challenges. Okay, for example, communication, financial resources, networking, and also long debated issues about work family commitment, and also we call it we have to
realize, to emphasize about the importance of women involvement in this tourism industry. And also I want to highlight about the gender needs analysis for every programs for women. Do not take women in general. Women itself, they have different categories. Single women, married women, single mothers, they have different needs and challenges that need to be streamlined and see how any programs will affect them. Okay, recognition success, and also we need to maximize their competitiveness level. Okay,
Thank
that's
you.
all. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. You know, we always say, is the cup half full or half empty? So it's always about looking at the good side, and so much of opportunities you've shared in your slides with us today. And definitely there's a lot for us to take away. And for everyone who's sharing your slides, we love to have it in sent to Ms. Reza so that we can have it uploaded on the website. Thank you. And now we have our next speaker, who is the young and vibrant Miss Dr. Noor Shahira Muir. She is a senior tourism lecturer at the Faculty of Applied Social Sciences, University Sultan Zainal Abidin, Malaysia. Welcome. Welcome, Dr. Noor.
Hi, sorry, because I'm not usually used to using Zoom. So wait, can you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
All right. Okay.
So we really need you to fast forward.
All right.
So
Got it.
sorry.
I understand. So, first of all, thank you so much for the warm introduction. It is truly an honor today for being here among so many influential women in the Malaysian tourism industry. Some of you I have had the pleasure of meeting and working with before, and others that I'm glad to be sharing the same platform with today. So, today this will be a quick one. So, I would like to share my sharing topic, which is about young women leading change in Malaysian tourism. Okay, my name is Dr. Noor Shahira. I'm from the University of Sultan Zainal Abidin. Okay, this is just a picture of my students. In my daily role, I have the privilege of interacting closely with the next generation of tourism professionals. My students, they are not just studying tourism, they are really shaping what it will look like in the future. So every day, I see their enthusiasm and ideas up close, and it's amazing to watch them turn what we learn in class into real plans for tomorrow. And sometimes I think we take that for granted, knowing that they're young and less experienced. Okay, among these students, young women are particularly fascinating once you get to know them. They bring fresh perspective, innovative ideas, passion for sustainability, and cultural and authenticity. So why I'm choosing to focus on Gen Z today is because as educators and industry leaders, understanding these young minds is crucial. They are not just students, they are the young women who will soon lead, innovate, and also champion the causes that matter in this field. So this is the understanding that drives me today to highlight on how we as the industry can better support, empower, and elevate these young women to leadership roles so that they ensure tourism not only grow but thrives on inclusivity and innovation. Because, you know, these young women, they have many new ideas, they are creative, but they don't have the opportunity to polish them. It will also be difficult once they start working one day. Oh, sorry. Okay, there's 4 perspectives that I will look into today, which is academic performance, extracurricular participation, career interest in tourism, and leadership confidence. So this is just a rough idea of what my students perceive on their interest and engagement in the tourism industry. So as you can see, 3 of the first have the highest, are significant, quite high, and except for the leadership confidence, which I will highlight a bit later. So for the first part, which is the academic excellence, in tourism studies, I can conclude that most of the female students consistently exceed a 3.0 CGPA every semester. And in fact, one of our female students achieved 4 flat for her CGPA and ranked herself #1 in the faculty as a whole. So as an academician, we try to provide the best base or platform for these students before meeting the industry. So of course, we are highlighting the theoretical foundation, but we also make the assessment more innovative now. Like in this picture, that is Dato Azhar, the general manager of the Seri Pacific Hotel Kuala Lumpur, who is evaluating their work, hoping that this experience for the students can be like a seamless transition when they go to work one day. And then 80% of the female students excel in the tourism studies. And then on the second part, which is about 75% of the female students active in the organization. So through the association, students take the lead in organizing and managing a wide range of tourism-related activities, while they manage to develop critical leadership skills and essential for their future careers. So because from this association, they get to collaborate with tourism businesses, government agencies, and nonprofits. So being the advisor of the association, I can see firsthand how they develop their skills, communication skills, critical thinking, and in fact, some of them has secured a place to work. So that is quite amazing. And our students have also initiated and participated in several community engagement projects. So overall, these activities, they provide practical experience for them, which can be used in project management and problem solving in the future. And these are, as you can see here, some of the recent activities that they have done that include female as the leader of the program. So the collaboration here include universities from other countries and tourism stakeholders in Malaysia, particularly in Terengganu, because our university is based in Terengganu, Malaysia. And finally, I think this is the third part, not the final part. Okay, the third part is about the pursuing the career in tourism. So 90% of them actually shows that they would like to pursue in tourism for their career. So naturally, their choice to enroll in this program is driven by their desire to work in the industries. However, interest can change. I see that some of my friends, in fact, changed their expertise from tourism to banking, for instance. So we as academicians would like to make sure that these students continuously involved in the tourism industry, because they already have the basic knowledge. So it would be great if they can actually practice them in the industry. So additionally, we have sought advice on our curriculum structure from industry leaders such as TH Travel and the Islamic Tourism Center. These organizations were specifically chosen for their alignment with our programs focused on Islamic tourism. Our program is called Bachelor of Islamic Tourism with Honors, and we ensure that our curriculum meets the industry standards and relevance. And then what I look into from the student perspective is on the female leadership in tourism. So the percentage might seem low as discussed earlier by other panels, largely due to the cultural norms where leadership roles tend to be held by male students. However, we are committed to providing equal opportunities for our female students to step up as leaders too. So this focus not only for female leadership, but they also has boosted their confidence among their female students. Many have reported improved leadership skills and feel much more prepared to tackle professional roles after they graduate. So I hope some of the industry players here would like to meet them too one day. Okay, so what is next for them? So the rapid integration of technology is reshaping the tourism industry. As you all know, everything is on technology now. So the industry is offering new engagement and new kind of empowerment. So that's why the next thing is the technology and the future of women in tourism. So young women, they are always with their phones, they are always with their gadget, iPads and everything. So they are the forefront of the adopting new technologies, driving change and innovation within the tourism sector. So by mastering these digital technologies, young women can, put a new standard to the industry, ensuring tourism is more accessible, inclusive, and diverse. So moving forward, so I'm wrapping up already. We need to recognize the important role of these young women, young female leaders. There is a commitment of incorporating more technology-focused content in tourism courses. And finally, young women are encouraged to embrace roles that merge technology with tourism, equipping them to lead in a digitally driven market, because I believe the industry also can take this opportunity as well to innovate and create something new from their experience and their knowledge on this digitalization. And finally, empowering young women in leadership not only challenges the status quo, but also starts new benchmarks for what is achievable in the tourism industry. So that is all from me. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Appreciate your time and all the efforts within here. And yes, young women, the future of the tourism industry. Appreciate that.
Thank you
And
so much.
next we have the speaker on the panel, Mrs. Haja Safina Yaakob, CEO and founder of Future Forest Herbal Asia Trade Show. She's a community tourism expert. Let's welcome Mrs. Haja.
Okay, I'm not a communist, okay, everyone.
Yeah. I emphasized already.
No worry. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. A very good afternoon. First of all, thank you, Madam Moderator. Nice to meet you. And I saw one familiar face, Sister Nazreen from South Africa. How are you, sister? I think we know for a long time. And I would like to say big thank you to the organizer, what do you call this, Dr. Rizal. Actually, I saw the poster and I wanted to tell him that, I should say something and share my experience in this summit. And he quickly contacted me and say, okay, why not? And here I am today. I think many speakers have covered many areas, especially in the MICE, meetings, scientific convention and exhibitions. A little bit about myself. I think I also involved in MICE, which is I have 30 years experience in advertising and PR. I myself a certified accredited PR agency and advertising agency ever since. And I have moved on to industry in sustainability and ESG. I'm a certified sustainability ESG practitioners and also technical consultant under the Ministry of Human Resource, monitoring on the competency in the various SME industry. And I'm also a certified halal auditor under JAKIM, and I help a lot in the halal transformations. I'm not going to talk about what will be the what do you call this specific area in terms of women's rules, but my sharings today based on a project that involving women in the rural area, women community, and I saw challenges, I saw opportunity, especially in my area of expertise in agriculture and forest plantations. I have some sharing here which is maybe could benefit in the women's in economic development and also young women in the rural area, which is in the rural area, critical issue that face is the migrations of the young generations to the city. And in order to empower the tourism in the rural area, they need also a young generations. So what I observe is leadership, leadership, women's roles in tourism, which is representing a community of women. And secondly, the role of the NGO, which is a platform for women to voice out. You know, women like to share, women like to be seen, women like to be trained, you know. So this NGO or a cooperative are playing a very important role in rural community, especially in empowering tourism sector. Women are very much involved in the culture practice. When we talk about culture and heritage, is boils back to the food. When we talk about foods, these are the famous tourism destination in Malaysia, especially in Sabah itself. Their seafood is fantastic, yeah, and the craft which is reflect their culture itself. Recently, I finished a project in Sarawak, which is my role is to assist agroforestry tourism. So we are tasked to observe and identify within agroforestry designated area, which is potential we can gather that is under agroforestry, and whereby there's a lot of women disconnected, from a tourism activity. When I say disconnected, it's a lot of challenge faced by them, which is anything that are involved in rural is always lead and championed by men, because women's communications also was have that gap. And another thing is their responsibility being a back end support to the men, which the rumah panjang is always led by the men. Yeah, very few rumah panjang leaders are given to a woman. I'm talking about the ethnic group itself in the rural area, especially in Sabah and Sarawak. So we're talking about the the community itself should have a women's lead community, which is we women here today must reach out to them, yeah, and identify their core activity. So basically, a lot of tourism group, they like to include their package is going places in the rural area to see what are these women in the rural area activity, like cooking, preparing the herbs and making their weaving and craft sort of. But then these people, many of them have a very unique talents. When I was there, I saw this old lady, which is no younger, future leaders or younger generations to follow through their talents, weaving their pot kumbu, something like that. They are making the from the bamboo itself, they're making a lot of creative packaging, yeah, which is mostly the tour group like to include them. So these are the potentials we need to, as a leader or project management company like us, we need to identify this potential activity to be in the tourism package. Okay, I know the sharing is a very can be very comprehensive. I try to summarize. I would like to add on into this what the madam moderator was saying earlier just now, talking about accelerating actions. Yeah. Okay. Let's talk about accelerating action. How are we going to position women out there, especially connecting the dots? Okay, all of us aware that the activities going on in the city, existing in the current project. What about those are not unseen? These are the people in the rural area, which is in the forest itself. I'm talking about the agroforestry. Yeah? So in agroforestry terminology itself, we made forest and agriculture, and most of the activity in the near the forest, which is in the agroforestry area, are involving women. They are the one who go into the forest plucking the herbs. They are the one have the knowledge which is passed down to them by their great-great-grandmother, great-grandfather, to recognize what plants and what not to pick and what to leave behind. So they themselves actually are leaders. They themselves actually who are practicing this sustainable practice and conscious tourism. They're conscious about waste, they're conscious about health, they're conscious about the beauty, and they're conscious about what food to eat from young age until their old age. That's why they are maintain their youthfulness. So these are the untapped community, and they're all with knowledge. Yeah. So having the idea that having the research center just now, I think that is very timely, which is Malaysia should have a very focused and specific research center, women involvement in the in the tourism industry itself.
Miss Sabina, would you
thank you.
please round up if you don't
Okay,
mind?
so let me just conclude. In order, women can be empowered and to be positioned them into this community-based tourism by promoting their talent and skill, which is involving in culture and heritage. Indirectly, we are conserving the culture and heritage, the people, the place, and the activity. We could contribute to empower the economy in that area. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And you actually touched on the conscious living aspect of our conscious capitalism framework for tourism industry. So that's really something that's so important for for everyone to look into for sure. Thank you so much for getting into action with those conversation as well. And
Miss Aziza, I'm sorry, Dr. Aziza, if we can let 2-3 minutes to speak Dr. Haja, because she has to leave. She just want to send a quick.
yes, Dr. Haja, welcome. Yeah, so go ahead.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Reza and also Dr. Aziza. Okay, I think for me, from the perspective of the Sabah state government, the woman has been very well recognized. As you can see, our Minister of Tourism is Datu Sri Panglima Krishna Liu, and she's actually very much involved in building up the tourism industry. Though it's not on Muslim perspective, but more on the level. In fact, she led the delegation of Sabah to Abu Dhabi, where it's a Muslim country, and it can be seen that the people in Abu Dhabi see how far that the Sabah through the Ministry of Tourism reached the level, especially in this event. She talked to more than 1,000 the ICA Challenge nights, and from there, I think the world see where Sabah is. You see, that's to me in terms of the woman contribution or participation in tourism, is more to bring some impactful thing that people like the men can see. For example, I'm literally live in a man's world. I was brought up in a family where all boys, only one. I'm the only girl in the house with my mom. And being a mom who is very a lot of taboo, don't explain anything, that I always think like a man. And fortunate enough is that I work in a man's world. From the very beginning, I was with the man all the time, and it helps me in my career because I look myself as a man. I mean, think like a man. That's why I say to be visible is to be noticed by the man, that how you can deliver the task given to you, and how you become better than a man by improve yourself to be visible. So I think in we all as a woman, we have to think how are we to deliver in the best way so that we be seen like equal. You see, that is my perspective of. That's why I say I'm very much different in talking about how to help the woman. In my way of helping the career in women's career is that to help them to look up from their own perspective as a woman. You have to think about that how best that at least you can level with the men, or better than a man, so that you are competitive in the men's world, because the men will always like to have a partner. In life, they find a wife to be a partner. It's the same in the workforce. They like to have a partner, regardless you're woman or man. So if you happen to be a woman, it's compatible to the way they want to, to deliver the objective or performance, then will accept you in their arms, embracing you as their partner. So that's why, to me, to be visible is to be able to contribute, to be relevant, and to be participative, and also to collaborate, regardless of man or woman, so that when you champion, then it can be seen the woman is relevant.
Yes.
That's where I'm thinking. I always think like, in order to help the woman, you have to show that you woman can help the woman by being able to deliver, because that's where my thinking. Because if we keep on saying that we want to be equal like men, but if we don't contribute like men, then we'll always be fighting, but we won't win the battle. But then I always, because I never want to fight with men. To me, the man is so strong in strength. But in terms of, that's why I always say, if you can have the brand, BRAND, you take the brand, BRAN. It's much easier and not many fun to use. It's just fun to be with. So that's why to me, in this forum, I would like to share where I am is not easy. But
Thank you
the
so
only thing is that understanding the man. You have to understand the man, because in the house also, I mean, we are sometimes higher position than a man. But then if you go home, you should leave your position. You respect the man as the leader.
Right.
Then
Very powerful.
then they come to you to trust you to go out. Because at home also, even though you are in higher position, you still show him that you respect him as the head of the house. So it goes to in a company. If the man is the leader, we as a woman should support the man because they're the leader. You
That's
don't have to compete the boss, because the boss is always be the boss. So one day when you become the boss, then you help the woman to become a boss. That's the cycle of life, to be to contribute to the woman. That's why I, when I did everything, I don't really emphasize on women, but at the heart of it, I want to see more women to be successful. But
Thank
how
you.
to be successful is me myself to be successful. Then I talk about to make people successful. That's the thing that, to me, that's why it's not easy to do the Be in Sabah forum. When I talk about it, many people laugh. But I know I have a lot of men to support me, including Dr. Reza, Mr. Senthil. So
Thank
you have you and Dr. Aziz, a woman. You see, to me, in life, we have to show our relevancy. How? By being able to understand people's needs, to being able to respect people's feelings, and to be able to embrace whoever in front of you. That's why, to me, Muslim, non-Muslim, whatever, we in Sabah is very, very unique. We have diverse ethnic, and we have to respect each other. And at the same time, when we brought up also, it's always about how we can live and peacefully ever after. That's Dr. Riza. Really thank you for this, Sami, and also Dr. Aziza. I'm always different in thinking because I like to be different. When you're different, you don't have to compete because it's you.
Yeah.
It's you, and it's you, and it's you. And how you want to perform, nobody knows because it's you. So that's why I say I thank you, and I'm honored to be here because I've seen in Sabah, like the Minister of Tourism is a woman, and even we call it the Permanent Secretary is a woman, and also the new appointed Sabah Convention Bureau is a woman. I'm a CEO of Sabah International Convention Center is a woman. So it's actually your credential, how you work, how you show your competitiveness is that then the level you want to go, you can go. But the support of the woman is very important because the woman is the one that get going. That's why you see in the workforce, there's a lot of women because the woman is the one like to help. But in terms of leadership, in terms of going the higher level, we have to look at both sides, from the men's side and from the woman's side. So
Absolutely.
that's what I would like to share before, because Dr. Riza, I would like to invite you tonight to our 850 made dishes. We have
Round, one more round.
since last year we broke a record of Asia Book of Record where we have 850 dishes at one time under one roof, and we don't have much wasted because we have a way to make sure that the food is eaten by the people who are fasting and also tourists. At the same time, we give to our needy. Once the food in the buffet is not being taken, so we give to the needy, they come in to take it. And whatever not come out from the kitchen, we have again the morning break that is from 11 to 3 a.m. So everybody have a chance of eating the 850 dishes that were prepared by our ever capable chef in the kitchen. So
Thank
Dr.
you so
Riza,
much, Latu. Thank you so much.
before you go back,
for
you eat your 850 dishes, whatever you ate for tonight. So thank you, Teresa and Dr. Aziza and all the panel. Thank you for sharing. I'm sorry I have to leave because I have to wait for our clients to come and visit our 850 dishes of menus tonight. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Assalamualaikum.
Thank you. Waalaikumsalam. Appreciate your time. Yes, and we're still counting down. We still have 3 more beautiful ladies having to share with us. And we're going to invite Miss Cleopatra Lajawai to share with us. She is the CEO of AEI Wellness and Chimag Holistic Wellness Transformation Coach. Welcome, Miss Cleo.
Thank you, Dr. Aziza. Thank you, Dr. Riza, for arranging this webinar. And thank you all fellow speakers for sharing today. I've seen so many slides that shows all this facts and figures already. So I would like to carry on with my personal experience in the wellness tourism industry or organizing events, all right, in Sabah. So basically, my experience in this women world is that actually I really agree with Salma, what she said just now, as well as Safina. You mentioned about, and also Datuk Haja, about the need of men, both men and women, to work together for this world. We can't segregate women and segregate men. We must work together. And I really agree with Datuk Haja, whereby the women has to put themselves up to the level where they are able to lead the men and the women. That's how it works. And that's how we will be able to have a harmonious working place. As for me, I'm working with women and also men. And I must say that there are women or there are men that can really push you to work like crazy. It's not just women that it can work with passion. There are also men that can work with passion. And that usually inspire me. I am very much inspired with women who are successful and men who are successful, because I think that both can feed us to build ourselves up as a woman, and so that we can lead better in our life. And from my experience, I think what are the challenges that I have experienced? Last year, we actually organized the first international conference on sustainable holistic wellness lifestyle. So the challenges that I had was we are trying to pull people from the international countries to come to Sabah to experience not just Sabah, but also to not just Sabah as a destination, but also to experience the culture, the warm hospitality of Sabahans, the warm variety of dishes that we have, like what Dato' Haja was saying. So the people here are very different. But what is important is we would like to actually promote to everyone that having the right mindset to achieve wellness is very important. when we talk about wellness, it's not just about spa or yoga. And we're not just talking about massage. We're talking about wellness in the situation whereby your mind, your body, your emotion, and your spiritual, your innermost is very in harmony and in happiness. And it's not, filled with sadness, unhappiness, things like that. So I think that people, if we really want to, women to accelerate action, we really need to first look at our own mindset. We have to work on our own mindset. Are we in line with what we want to do? Are we in harmony within ourselves and outside? Do we love ourselves much that we are able to give more love to others? I think this is very important. What we feel inside is really, it's really easily can be felt by people around us. So even whether they're in front of us or far away, they can really feel our vibes. I think this is very important that we first, to accelerate action in anything that we do, we really need to work inside first. Then we work on our mental, what's happening in here and what's happening in here. What are we thinking? Are we in control? Like what Safina was saying about conscious living. And Dr. Aziza is always talking about this conscious tourism, conscious capitalism, conscious living. Everything that is conscious. Are we conscious about what we're thinking? Are we conscious about what we are feeling? I mean, there's a lot of people that they tend to think elsewhere before, they start to criticize before they even have, before they even think what's happening. All right. But I have observed that people like in this situation, usually they tend to have, how do you say, they tend to have inner anger or inner sadness that is rooted inside for years. And that's why the moment one thing trigger, they suddenly think negatively. But actually it's not because of them. So that is one of the areas I think that we have to work on as a woman, all right, to be successful in this world. And also, actually, I've wrote a lot of things here to say, but I think because of the time, insufficient time, so I would like to say, whatever that you're doing as a woman, as a man, just do it. And I'm not just saying just do it, just do for what is the benefit that you feel that is important for you, for the community, for your family. For example, our event last year, I was thinking, it was a big loss for us to organize that event, and I can easily buy 2 cars with the losses that we have. All right. But then I was thinking, why should we continue with organizing this sustainable, holistic wellness lifestyle? What is the purpose of creating this awareness that people have to practice sustainable, holistic wellness lifestyle? Why? And this year, we are doing it in 2 places, which is in Germany and in Malaysia. Again, why? It's because I feel that there is really a need for people to realize the need for sustainable, holistic wellness lifestyle, or wellness tourism, or wellness workplace, because sustainable holistic wellness can be applied in any place, even with ourselves. It's just a matter of knowledge. A lot of people do not have this knowledge, and that is why we are bringing in all these experts to come to speak about the pillars that we are talking about. So I would really like to share with you our sustainable holistic wellness concept. And of course, if everybody is able to understand this and you're able to go and share about this, that would really create a domino effect of so much faster than both of us trying to tell and to share with everyone. That sustainable holistic wellness lifestyle is really important. All right. So before I would like to share a video, just about 3 minutes plus. Is that okay? Okay, yeah. So let me just share this.
Yes, please.
All right, everybody can see?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Today, we invite you to embark on a transformative journey, one that redefines well-being as a way of life. Imagine a world where your soul, mind, emotion, body, and environment exist in perfect harmony, fostering true health in all aspects: mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual. This vision is at the heart of the sustainable holistic wellness concept, a pioneering approach designed by Dr. Jess T.Y. Lim and Mrs. Cleopatra Lajawai from Sabah. Their life's work has led to the development of a 10 holistic wellness pillar framework, integrating ancient wisdom with modern sustainability to nurture personal well-being, communities, and our planet. These 10 pillars provide a comprehensive approach to creating a balanced, harmonious, and sustainable lifestyle. Soul, aligning with your higher self, purpose, and spiritual consciousness to cultivate inner peace and wisdom. Mental and emotional, strengthening clarity, resilience, and emotional intelligence to maintain a balanced and stress-free mind. Body, prioritizing movement and vitality with natural fitness, healing practices, and modern science for holistic physical well-being. Auric and frequencies, understanding energy fields, vibrations, and biofrequencies that influence health and harmony. Air, focusing on clean, oxygen-rich environments and conscious breathing for optimal well-being. Water and beverages, enhancing hydration with pure, energized water and nourishing drinks that sustain vitality. Food and nutrition, nourishing the body with whole, organic, and balanced foods that promote longevity. People and relationships, cultivating meaningful connections, positive social interactions, and collective wellness. Home and workplace, designing spaces that support health, productivity, and harmonious energy flow. Environment, embracing sustainable living, eco-conscious choices, and nature-based well-being solutions. These pillars work together to optimize 4 key aspects of health: mental health, encouraging clarity, focus, and cognitive well-being; emotional health, fostering self-awareness, balance, and resilience; physical health, strengthening the body through sustainable, holistic practices; spiritual health, deepening the connection between self, nature, and the universe. When these aspects are nurtured together, we unlock a new level of well-being, one that is sustainable, fulfilling, and transformative. The sustainable holistic wellness concept extends beyond personal health. It is a universal approach that can be applied to various aspects of life and industries, creating a ripple effect of positive change. Events and experiences, transforming gatherings, retreats, and expos into wellness-centric experiences. Lifestyle and homes, designing life in spaces that enhance harmony and holistic well-being. Workplaces and productivity, fostering healthier, happier, and more harmonious work environments. Tourism and destinations, revolutionizing travel with wellness-focused experiences and eco-conscious destinations. Commercial properties and urban planning, integrating sustainable wellness principles into urban and architectural design. Consultancies and trainings, equipping individuals and businesses with knowledge to implement sustainable wellness strategies. True wellness is more than a trend. It is the foundation of a thriving, sustainable future. By embracing the sustainable holistic wellness concept, we can create environments that nurture well-being, foster positive relationships, and honor the interconnectedness of life. We invite you to be part of this movement, whether through your home, workplace, community, or industry. Let's co-create a future where holistic well-being and sustainability are not just ideals, but a way of life.
Thank you very much, Cleo.
Okay, that's it. But I would like to leave here with a final one, is that I really love this quote by my husband, Dr. Jess. He said that charity begins at home. So if we really want to accelerate action in everything that we do, we really need to first have charity at home, which is in ourselves. Have charity in ourselves, work on ourselves, and then we can help the rest of the world. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, my dearest partner, Dr. Jess and Mrs. Cleo. Appreciate your time with us today. Next, we have the Miss Marina Muhammad. Before we go to the final, the best for the last, Miss Jennifer, we invite Miss Marina Muhammad from the leadership in Halal Muslim-friendly tourism and hospitality. Miss Marina, please come.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. A very good day to everyone. First of all, I would like to thank Dr. Reza for inviting me to be one of the speakers in this amazing and inspiring year, together with all the inspiring women over here. And to tell you the truth, I am overwhelmed, yeah, with all the sharings, with all the success stories and information. I'm not gonna talk so much on women empowerment and so on, but just a bit on the needs or the woman, I would say, expects within the Muslim friendly and hospitality. Let me just share with you my presentation. Sure. All right. Can everybody see my presentation? Yep. Okay. Like I said, I'm not going to talk about the empowerment of the woman, but I'm really, really passionate about putting in the female experiences, yeah, in the Muslim family travel. But before that, let me just introduce myself. My name is Marina. I'm actually has a lot of experience in halal industry. That is where I started from. And how I get to know about the halal tourism or the Muslim friendly tourism is actually when I joined the Islamic Tourism Center, which I work very well with Alisa in ITC. And that's where I saw that in the Muslim friendly tourism and hospitality, there's a lot of elements of women that needs to be considered. There's a lot of elements of women and facilities that needs to be highlighted. Yeah, and this is not just within the Muslim friendly tourism only, but also within the whole tourism aspect itself. And in ITC, Alhamdulillah, within a short stint of my presence in ITC, I've worked together with the team coming up with the, I would say, compliance, the standards and the guidelines for Muslim-friendly tourism hospitality. And the focus would be more not just on the Muslim, but also for the female. And how this has created an experience, yeah, for all the female travelers around the world, yeah, and how they like to have this compliance, yeah, within the Muslim-friendly hospitality. Okay. So some of the services that I would like to just add on to what Ms. Alisa has talked about in the Islamic tourism in her speech regarding the Muslim or regarding the female, I would say needs and addresses within the Muslim-friendly hospitality. But these are some of the things that when I, together with the team of ITC, when we develop the Muslim-friendly tourism and hospitality assurance and recognition guidelines, which we call NPA, we also take into consideration not just for the Muslim, but also for the woman. And Alhamdulillah, it was in 2024 that I was appointed as a convener for the MFTH Halal Tourism for the Spa and Wellness. And the elements of women are actually been taken into consideration, has been highlighted so that these needs for the woman are not being neglected, especially as we can see now, a lot of travelers out there are all women. Yeah, and they are like what Alisa mentioned, they are the decision maker, they are the one who normally dictate where to go, you know, and so on. So by having this services addresses to the needs of the woman, it actually encourages a lot more of travelers among us, the women, as well as giving a good economic impact to the country, especially those who would like to get their destination as a Muslim-friendly destination. I have actually come up with about 5 or 6 services that address the needs of the woman. One is on the gender segregated facilities. In the Muslim-friendly tourism and hospitality, one of the elements that I think we should consider is to have a Muslim-friendly or a gender segregated facilities, especially for the women when it comes to them having to enjoy themselves in the pool or having to enjoy themselves in the gym. They should have a gender segregated facility so that the woman don't feel insecure. The woman actually can actually enjoy freely doing having their own me time. Yeah, and I think a lot of hotels right now and a lot of spa and wellness center right now, they do have their own gender segregated facilities catering only for the women. On top of that, besides that, yes, we as a Muslim, and especially for the Muslim women, our prayer facilities and ablution facilities actually quite, I would say, different from the men, because the place has to be covered, and for the woman itself, we need to have our own special praying garment, which the man doesn't require it. So in this standards or the guideline of compliance, making sure that there's a lot of facilities, or I would say there's a lot of services catered to the woman by providing providing garment prayers, providing prayer mat, yeah, having a secluded ablution facilities, that would be a good, I would say, benefit to the woman. Next would be also for the women, modesty and dress code would be something that also should take into consideration, especially for the Muslim woman. When Muslim, they go to travel, yeah, they would like to be able to be themselves, and to make sure that they are not being looked at. They can just wear modestly and so on. And by having this incorporated into the, I would say, standards and compliance of the Muslim friendly services, they don't feel insecure, they feel safe. Yeah, and also by having a Muslim woman that modestly dress, yeah, travelers also won't feel I would say exposed, yeah, to the non Islamic way, I would say, yeah. And also another thing is that for the Muslim friendly services that addresses the needs of women is having an alcohol-free environment, where when you see, then when people are actually highly consumed with alcohol and so on, especially the men, normally they don't think correctly, yeah, and this would actually affect the woman. And having an alcohol-free environment, which actually gives some benefits to the woman to enjoy their traveling and also to enjoy their free time, yeah, whether they are in the spa, whether they are in the hotel, or whether they're doing any activities. And the one that I would like to
maybe we can round it off if you don't mind.
Right. Okay,
So
and
sorry.
also,
Why don't you share with us more about the direction that you have been taking on accelerating the women in tourism? Is this mostly from Malaysia?
yes. Okay, where I'm coming from is that when we talk about Muslim friendly services and hospitality, is that we actually take into consideration the needs of the woman. Yeah, when we talk about services for the woman, by the woman, we make sure that the services in the standards, in the guidelines, yeah, we make sure that when the services that we are giving to the female spa, for example, there must be a female therapist to it. Yeah, and also when we talk about medical tourism and so on, the services that we're giving to the woman, there must be a female practitioner that can actually assist the woman so that they don't feel violated, so that they feel secure and so on. So these are all the important elements that needs to be put in coming out with the Muslim friendly services, to actually take into considerations that the services are actually for the woman. You need to make sure that the therapists are the women, the doctors are the women, the services that are catered are actually taking into consideration the needs of the woman. Yeah. And I think I actually I don't have a lot to talk about, but at the end of the day, I think what Malaysia has, yeah, coming out with the Muslim friendly tourism and hospitality guidelines and compliance, is that has put Malaysia as a top Muslim friendly destination from 2015 to 2024. And also, Alhamdulillah, in 2023, Malaysia has been awarded as the top Muslim-friendly destination for the female travelers. And this is actually been made success because of the elements of the needs that we have catered for the women, yeah, that we have put inside our Muslim-friendly tourism and hospitality. Yeah, I think that's all I would like to share today. Thank you.
Oh my God, I am so sorry. I really hate this rushing you
Sorry.
through on this, and I love that. Is that the Sabah? Is that the Sabah Mosque?
Yes, yes, it is.
Oh my God, it's like Sabah is in the house, and this is so fun. Thank you so much for coming. We have just spent a week in Sabah, and so it's like fresh from Sabah, East Malaysia, and finally we have Ms. Jennifer Abdullah, who just came back from Sabah too. We were together celebrating International Women's Day in Sabah. So thank you so much. I mean, Jennifer, thank you so much for holding on and really waiting there with the team. She's a wellness consultant in tourism industry and consulting not only with many other organizations, including MediSpa at Sunway Resort. Welcome, Jennifer.
Thank you, Dr. Aziza and Dr. Reza. Assalamualaikum and good afternoon from Sunway City, Malaysia. I am Jennifer, certified Bowen therapist, nutritionist, and clinical aromatherapist, specializing in holistic anti-aging. We have seen and heard the statistics and experiences of women in tourism and hospitality today. I would like to take this opportunity to share my personal experience in this industry as a woman and a newbie. For those of you who don't know me, I started in the hospitality industry in October last year. For those of you who have heard my sharing at the IWD event at Sabah International Convention Center, I am all about looking for the positive and not let the negative affect me. And this is how I found my way into hospitality. I found a niche, and that is luxury wellness and holistic anti-aging, targeting Malaysians and those in our region like Singapore, Indonesia, Brunei, Philippines, and China. So to me, there is no barrier. It is how we capitalize the opportunity and create the niche for ourselves. Let me share what I've learned the past 5 months in this amazing industry. And this is what I want to talk about today. Sustainable wellness luxury tourism. I'm truly grateful to be part of the Sunway Resort and Medical Spa. By the way, I do consult for other clinics as well, but mainly in holistic anti-aging. So what I'm going to quickly talk about is about what we do within Sunway Hotels, environmental impact in terms of energy efficiency, water conservation, waste management, sustainable materials, and biodiversity protection. Number 2, local community engagement. So we provide employment opportunities, fair wages, excellent working conditions for local employees, and empowering the community through training and education. Cultural sensitivity, promoting and respecting the local traditions and culture, and promotion of traditional treatments and traditional herbs. Local sourcing, so we source from local farmers, artisans, and vendors. We have, if you have not heard about Sunway X Farms, that's to reduce transportation emissions. Eco-friendly infrastructure, green buildings. Green buildings and eco-friendly transportations. Those of you who have been to Sunway City, we are known for that. And wellness programs that are focused on sustainability, holistic wellness at Sunway MediSpa, mindfulness and mental health programs in the hotel and for the employees, eco-therapies using organic and locally sourced products. Then I'm going to talk about our culinary practices. One is the sustainable culinary practices that we offer plant-based menus now, zero waste kitchen, sustainable seafood and farming practices. And I'd like to talk a little bit about the luxury culinary practices. We are very, very proud that we have the one and only Gordon Ramsay restaurant in Malaysia. I think Dr. Aziza has been there. We do hold our business networking there once a month. So it is an honor to introduce to you Gordon Ramsay Bar and Grill Kuala Lumpur, which is a world-class dining destination. It is not just a restaurant. It's about experience and culinary excellence. So go to my profile, hit me up, set an appointment after Ramadan, and we can also look at collaboration in terms of networking session. And I see Dr. Reza's face means I need to wrap up, right?
That's the women's show. I will not say anything.
Okay, I'm very quick with this. So apart from that, I like to talk about the cultural and wellness education that we provide, and most importantly, the certification and standards. We have sustainable tourism certifications and luxury with responsibility. What is luxury with responsibility? It's about ensuring that luxury experiences are not indulgent, but are also socially and environmentally responsible. We have our carbon offset programs, and we have sustainable technology, telemedicine for wellness, and we have an ethical supply chain for fair trade products and long-term partnership. I think I've done that within 10 minutes.
Yeah, thank you so much. You know, for those of you who remember, thank you so much, Jennifer. I really appreciate the conversation we're having. I always like to use Sunway Resort as one of the conscious capitalism example, because they actually cover a very powerful, holistic perspective from Malaysia. Being about a 20B company, I think it's really wonderful what they are achieving for the environment, for the country, in economic development, and that's exactly where we can head together as a community. So thank you, Jennifer, for heads up on that.
Thank you, Dr. Aziza and Dr. Reza, for having me. I'm truly, truly humbled today as a newbie in tourism to be able to speak among the pioneers and people with more than 20 years experience as well. Thank you, and I hope to see you all in Sunway. Thank you.
See you in 1 hour's time. Bye-bye. Right, we're still hanging out together. Thank you so much, everyone, for patiently. For those of you who are still hanging there, we really appreciate your time. We know that this conversation is so important, and I'm great that Mr. Reza highlighted the fact that we need to focus on the women issues that's real and challenged. And today we also witness what is really being done in terms of uplifting and correcting and growing. And it's not just in Malaysia. We see so many others. We have Faye from Kenya sharing with us what she's doing. So all of us are contributing in our own beautiful way in towards this unity for the industry, because only with collaborative efforts that we can bring about a change as one community that's so needed for the country right now and for the nation right now. So thank you once again for joining us. Reza, you want to say something before we close?
No, I just want to say still Dr. Taleb Rafai is here, the two-term UN Secretary General. Thank you so much, Dr. Taleb. Ramadan Kareem. And I don't know if there are any questions here, anything before we close.
Thank you, Reza. Thank you so much.
You too.
Thanks. I found this patients very interesting.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Any questions? Anything? So the recording and everything will be on the website from tomorrow, including your PowerPoint. And please send me your PowerPoint if you did have to me, so we can put it on the website as well. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dr. Aziza, for being here, and all the wonderful ladies. God bless you. God bless the people of Malaysia, a wonderful country, and happy Ramadan for who is fasting. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank
We'll
you.
catch up soon. And I think everybody is getting live already. That means other than on Zoom, we are meeting up in person. So Mr. Reza ended up in Sabah. There's so many other places we're all going. So let's catch up soon. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Happy International Women's Day.
Thank you. Happy International.